So good, they deliver on both sides of the island. Order online at www.kfc-xxm.com and have your favorite KFC menu items delivered right to your doorstep. Choose your favorite piece of KFC, from spicy wings to your favorite combo or other delicious items. Yes, you can quickly make your order at KFC without standing in line. Order delivery at www.kfc-xxm.com. KFC, finger licking good.
The voice of St. Martin Network Radio. The source for local and international news, weather, and sports.
All right, there you go, man. PJD2 102.7 FM and 1300 AM. It's the 10th of May in the year 2025. I'm Antonio Venturin in here for your weekly dose of sports on radio, the first radio on St. Martin radio station on St. Martin, simulcast on 1300 AM, and we're streaming live on Facebook as well. We apologize for the late start, but we're here. And I want to thank all the regular listeners for tuning in and being part of this program on a weekly basis. In the studios with us, we're going to go right on over to our guest who's in the studios with us. This morning, we have the pleasure of having, first time on the program, none other than pro baller, Mr. Franklin van Gurp. And, once you hear the name Van Gurp, that reminds you of one man, Snoopy. So, without further ado, let's go over to our guest in the studios here with me, Franklin, pro baller, baseball player, Franklin van Gurp. Franklin, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Van Gurp. The Van Gurp name is a known name, man.
Yeah.
So, once you hear Van Gurp, that's Snoopy, the man himself, the late great, the mighty Greg, the man from born in tongue, raised in tongue. So you were born in tongue, raised in tongue as well?
I was raised here, man, back street. Here where I grew up, going to the beach. All my family's from back street, so it's very familiar.
All right. Shout out to you, man. Hey, thanks for taking the invitation to be here on the program. And of course, as I said in the introduction, you're a baseball player playing in, in the big leagues. Tell us a bit about yourself. How do you get started in baseball?
Man, my start with baseball, just been here on the island, playing for the Pony League, then transitioned into like the Little League, and just going up that chain of different little development steps. Playing over there in Santo, going to college, and then pro ball, and just keep on playing in big, high-level competitions. So
which teams did you play for in Little League here in St. Martin, and when you started off?
So when I started off, I played for the Volvic Water Marlins.
Okay.
That was with Coach Tom.
Okay.
That was in the
Tom Burnett.
I started off with him in the Pony League, and then he transitioned over to playing in the Little League as well. I played in a lot of like the little high school games, different coaches here, so that's how I pretty much started.
So Little League, what position did you start off playing in Little League?
My first position was outfield. I was playing outfield. I learned how to like develop, catch, stuff like that. Then transitioned more into the infield. I played a little bit of first, a little bit of third, and then I really fell in love with being a catcher. That was like where I stuck throughout. So I kind of like moved around. I tried to play everywhere, just wherever they needed me. But I really loved to catch.
So what drew you to catching? What makes catching?
Catching for me, what helped me out a lot. Just want to be involved in the game. I want to be in.
So in every play, you want to be involved.
I want to be in every play.
The center of it. Yeah. Okay. Now, after Little League on St. Martin, you said that you went to Santo.
Yes.
How did that transition happen? Were you scouted in or selected to go? How did that transition to Santo happen, really?
The transition happened just based off of like my mom's background. She's Dominican, She just saw that like I had like a lot of love for the game, and you know, she just wanted me to like keep fighting for my dream, trying to find, you know, the right place for me to go play, develop, and you know, just push my baseball journey. She saw that growing up. I just always loved having a glove in my hand.
So how was it? How was it when you transitioned from St. Martin to the Dominican Republic? Because I can imagine that the level of competition and everything is, you know, you're amongst a lot more talented players in a pool of. How was that transition for you?
It was a good transition. I think during that time, we had a really good thing going on with baseball here in the island.
Okay.
I wasn't really far ahead. I was very raw in the sense of like just playing more games, but we practiced a lot. You know, we had a lot of practice after school and stuff like that. So the transition wasn't too bad.
Okay.
I felt like I kept up really well with those kids over there.
So the Dominican Republic, you went into one of the academies.
I went into like a league, like the little like league behind the Estadio Quisqueya, because I was in the capital.
Okay.
So we held our own playing over there as like the core guys coming from the island, which wasn't a bad transition for me. I loved it. It developed me into the player I am. I learned a lot in the Dominican. I took what I learned from here and just added on little tips and tricks.
So what are some of the key things that you would say that the training or the period that you spent in the Dominican Republic added to your overall game?
It gave me like a plan. It gave me like, okay, this is what, since they have so many more experienced players, more players that played professional, you can kind of take and dabber with different things that they have and different things they do, different routines. There's always like a little module you can follow, and you could get certain results out of it. Let's say if you want to bring your 60 time down, you want to start throwing 90. They have a pretty good system to where they can teach it.
Okay.
But you need that foundation of the little league, learn how to throw, and you know, learning the simple stuff until you start getting a little more complex.
So in the Dominican Republic, did you focus more on the catching, or what position you focused on down there?
I did everything. I had a good arm. They wanted me to pitch. I was a hitter. I still hit really well. Keeping up in that competition. Just playing is so competitive. So you're always on your P's and Q's.
So how long did you stay in the Dominican Republic?
I was there until I was 17.
Okay.
I was there until I was 17. I left there when I was like 10. I was there, did the whole July 2nd, try to see how that worked. I was in the Mets Academy for over a year, played with the Dominican Prospect League. So I was very like with the big dogs over there.
Okay.
Playing with the really good competition. Just trying to see where I match up at a younger level, so I can get back to the drawing boards. Okay, I need to get this better. So that was kind of the approach, how I went about it. It was a lot of like self-evaluating. Okay, like he needs to work on this. He needs to get this better. Get your 60 time. Do this. Do that.
So when you're in those leagues, you have a specific coach that is kind of working with you, or how does it work? Explain how does that work exactly?
So when I got to the Dominican, I was in like kind of like similar little league.
Okay.
And then as you get into little league, there's more like coaches that are connected to different pro level coaches.
Okay. Yeah.
And these pro level coaches, they'll, based off of who you are, they're gonna be like, okay, like this kid has a shot. If we can dedicate him a certain amount of time and effort, we can, by the time he's 16, we can, you know, maybe see if we get a professional
contract.
Or, you know, like in my case, I went to the United States to play college, but it was just a lot of trusting them, but also too like trying to self-evaluate. My parents, you know, pretty much telling me, hey, like, well, let's go over here, let's see what this guy's doing. This guy's constantly moving around and just learning who you are.
So you left the Dominican Republic to play college ball, but at the time that you were there, you had any offers for minor league contracts and stuff like that?
So I had offers in the Dominican just because I was part of the Dominican Prospect League. And every year they have like 10, 12 guys. So they do a really good job at scouting
Mm-hmm.
the core collective, like the best of the best guys in the Dominican Republic. They play different games in these different academies. All these scouts go there, and it's kind of like an easy place for scouts to find the best players.
The best players.
So if you played on one of those teams and you're able to travel, like you can gauge yourself and be like, okay, like I may not be the best, but I'm like keeping up with them. So
okay,
that's how it is.
So the transition to college, which college did you go to?
So I went to Chipola Junior College. It's in Marianna, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer to Tallahassee. It was a really good JUCO. They breed baseball. So many big leaguers came out of that school.
Okay.
The coach is very traditional, super strict, discipline, accountability, try to get things done no matter what. He teaches you a lot of time management. It's just beautiful school. And then I transferred over to Florida International, which is kind of like, I got lucky to have that same type of mentality coach, that strong-minded, like, this is how you go about your business. So I was really well coached in these two. I was blessed to be able to play with them, and I learned so much.
Now, after Florida International, where did the baseball journey take you?
My baseball journey took me so many places, man. I went to San Francisco Giants. I got drafted in 2017. I was there. I love that team. They taught me so much about. They gave me my first little step to pro ball. Then I was traded.
So when you got drafted from college, you go into what?
The minor league system.
The minor league system, that's AAA or
I went into Lowe rookie
league.
Rookie league. So I went in there and pretty much was there the whole year in Arizona. I had a good year.
So at San Francisco, you were focusing more on the pitching, catching, or what position were you really?
Pitching.
Yeah.
Strictly pitching.
So you had transitioned through the college system to now focus a bit more on the pitching.
Yeah. So my thing was going into college. I was a full catcher, third baseman. When I went in the summer to work out with different schools, I went through this guy. He takes players to the United States for college, and he takes you in the summer. You do different workouts based on like how you prepared. Coaches offer you a contract. So my thing was, I've played every position. I know how to play every position. So if I'm a valuable asset on the field, I wasn't a pitcher, but I was like, if you want pitching, I can pitch. If you want to play third baseman, I can play third baseman.
You could do that.
I can pretty much do it. So I feel like that opened coach's eyes a little bit more to where like he could plug this player in any role and pretty much compete. So that's how I did it. But when I got to pro ball, you have to be focused on
one thing. One position. So in the rookie league, how long did you stay in the rookie league in San Francisco?
So my first year, I was in the rookie league the whole year. I thought I was gonna get called up sooner, but you find out that baseball is a lot of moving blocks in order for you to move up the chain. My second year.
So when you say a lot of moving blocks, what were you referring to, kind of?
So it's kind of like, it's like the trickle effect, to where like some guy a guy from the big leagues has to get hurt in order for you to go up, and then like different transitions. Let's say a guy gets traded, they have to plug somebody in, so it's kind of like.
So you're kind of waiting on. It's like a ripple effect. Something happens at the top, and then it triggers all the way down.
Yeah.
So in the rookie league, during your period there, that didn't happen.
Yeah. During my rookie league, it didn't happen. I opened up a lot of eyes my first year. Did really well. Wasn't really an experienced pitcher because I only pitched 1 year in college. I was supposed to sign my sophomore year, but I didn't feel that like I wanted to jump into pro ball right away. I knew I still needed to learn a little bit more about pitching. I was a catcher. I knew that side of the game, but feeling your mechanics out, being able to correct yourself, pitch to pitch. Those are things that like I still needed to like figure out. So I went 1 more year of college, and then in pro ball I just pretty much just rock with my competitiveness, stuck to my strengths. I had a good slider, pretty good fastball, and just stuck to my strengths. And then each level has its little learning experience. Some guys at this level hit better fastballs. Some guys at this level can't hit breaking balls. Then some guys at this level don't swing at the breaking ball in the dirt. And then you find that out as you go, which kind of happened to me. And you just gotta learn quick from it.
Okay. So from rookie league, what happened then after San Francisco?
So after San Francisco, I had 2 really good years. My first year, I got sent back to the same level, which kind of like opened up a lot of more eyes to where like you had really 2 good years, like what's actually going on. The Padres took notice of me, and they were like, yeah, like we want this kid, like we'll put him where he needs to be. So I was blessed with the opportunity. I was traded. It helped me out a lot. I met some really, really cool people in the Padres that helped me get a little more longevity. So I feel like everything happened for a reason in that journey. So I trusted that. And, you know, COVID happened after there. We stayed training in Arizona. I got my fastball velocity up because that was the first year I can actually like sit down, like get a good plan, be around good big leaguers, because everyone was trying to be at the same spot, and just soaking in all that information really helped me out. I got up to like 97.
Fastball.
Wow. So I felt really good. It was the strongest I've been. Had an accident, freakish accident going into spring training. My dad, he loves riding bikes, so I grew up riding bikes.
Yeah, I remember him. He cycled a lot. Shout out to Sheba. He was a great cyclist here in the island, yeah.
So I love riding bikes. I go 3-4 hours. That was part of my training. And unfortunately fell off, kind of snapped a little bit of my AC joint.
Ow.
And just got back to it, trained, rehab back.
So how it was coming back from an injury like that, and the effects of COVID-19. You find, in your opinion, COVID-19 what was the effect of COVID-19 on your career? Because you just went to the Padres and then COVID hit.
Yeah, it was a weird situation, but I still decided that there was work to be done. No matter where I was going to be at, whether the world's going to be open, I have to just maximize my time. And that's the biggest thing that it helped me. It was a blessing for me because I was able to get better. Some guys took it for granted and got sloppy, but I just knew that like always at one moment you could be called, and I never want to be caught by surprise, because you can say you're ready, but if you actually do the work to be ready, because you have to. There's so much work in baseball. It's really a lot of work.
So after the Padres, how did it end with the Padres then?
So that was my first cup of tea of like actually how the industry works. I went up.
That was a good experience, or you look back at it?
It was a great experience because it opened up another door to where it helped me learn even more.
Okay.
I do believe that change is really good because it's a stimulus that your brain just keeps on learning. You open up a new book, you have new things to learn. Same thing with teams. You go to different teams, they have different philosophies. One team likes to be more technical with devices and stuff like that, angles and stuff. Other teams are just old school, pitch, get guys out.
Yeah.
Other teams are just strictly business. They give you the numbers, but you have to take care of your business.
Okay.
So I had the Giants, which was compete, love your team, very family oriented. You wouldn't walk by someone without saying hi, or it's very like unity. You had Padres, which is the business team. They give you good information, but you have to hold yourself accountable. Okay. You have to look for the information, and then you have the Mariners, which I think is the best players plan, to where like they teach you this is what you're good at. Be consistent doing this, and you'll be successful. Which I feel like if I had the 3 in my first year, it'd be easier.
It would have been easier.
So that's why I say like it was a good experience for me personally.
Okay. So after the Padres, you went to the Mariners.
Correct.
And tell us a bit about that.
The Mariners was good. It was a good experience. It helped me be able to like learn how to manipulate my pitches, how to throw different pitches based off of like the TrackMan device. These teams invest so much money into the game and like just giving you information for you to learn. Sometimes too much information can harm you.
Yeah.
But it's better for you to have information so you know how to like work with it versus not having the information. So the Mariners was a blessing. I was able to get blessed with the opportunity through pitching in with the Netherlands in the pre-Olympics. They saw me in Mexico. We had a tournament, and through that, my performance there, they got me back. They liked my.
The Netherlands called you up for the Kingdom team.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. So that was how I got back in during that tournament. Ended up finishing the year with them. Another unfortunate thing happened with the players' strike, so it pushed back the season a little bit further. I was kind of skeptical. Okay, like somebody gonna call me, somebody not gonna call me. I was planning to go to the Netherlands to do some training. The World Baseball Classic was kind of like in my head, so that was kind of like there was always something to look forward to that kept me going. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
So now you mentioned the World Baseball Classics. We know that you played on the team, the Kingdom team in the World Baseball Classics. Did you pitch? You pitched in one of those games in the World Baseball Classics. Tell us a bit about the experience of being on that big stage with all the best players in the world.
It was fun, man. It was fun. A guy like me
from a small island.
You know, it's a beautiful experience. It kind of like puts you on where you're at. I actually pitched 3 out of 4 games. I couldn't pitch all 4 because there's a rule. But if I could have pitched 4, I would have wanted to pitch all 4.
Wow.
I was prepared. I went, you know, to Dominican in the winter. I was training all year long. I was on a mission to.
Which games did you pitch for the Netherlands in the World Baseball Classics? Against which teams?
So I started off the tournament. We started off with Cuba. I pitched against Cuba.
Wow. That's a powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Did my thing, you know, and just went back to back. Had a day off. Played against Panama the second game. We got that win. So we were sitting in the driver's seat 2-0. We were going in very confident. We hit a low patch with Taipei. Taipei was crazy that game. I wish I had pitched that game. It was just so loud.
Yeah.
So much fun, so much adrenaline. And those are the games you live for, you know? Like, you work hard, you want to go out there and get the ball to help your team win, because you know you're playing with all your brothers. And
so as opposed to guys running from the responsibility, you want to get that ball in your hand and go out and do your thing.
Yeah, I like coming in, stopping the fire. When the game's about to like be in the side, like it's so like, you know, at one point in the game, it could go left or right. This run scores, like they could gain the momentum back, but if you stop it, I like that part of the game.
Wow. So after Taipei, how did it go with the World Baseball Classics after that?
So after Taipei, I pretty much went back home, tried to talk to teams. I had a really good lump sum of baseball. I went to Dominican. I played in Venezuela that year. I went to Serie del Caribe with Curacao. That was our first participation there in Venezuela, and I just kind of like just waited to see like what if my performance there would have, you know, got me a minor league deal. So I just stayed there training, waiting. Nothing really came out of it, because baseball is a sport based off like who you know and your connections, and I started to figure that out more and more. As I played, they want people that they can trust, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to go introduce yourself to coaches. You have to go talk to different.
So does the role of an agent make a big difference?
Yes.
Who you have representing you in the game?
Yes, 100%. The role of an agent is so important. Just because they're the person that's selling you. They're the person that pretty much tells you, this is why I think he's a valuable asset to your team. He could be this type of person in the locker room. He's going to be the person that when you look to the left, he's going to be working out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to motivate other guys. He's going to be the guy that shows up on time. He's going to be the guy that like takes care of the little things to where it gives a good ambience.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want a good ambience because baseball is up and down. It's very an emotional game. We fail a lot, so it's a lot of room for negativity.
Okay.
So that's how I see it.
Now, you also played in the Japanese league.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that, because Japanese league, I think with Otami, everyone is looking at the Japanese league as one of the stronger leagues around.
Yeah. They're really strong. They have a lot of discipline. They take meaningful reps. They're just not out there just swinging just to swing or playing just to play. They play with respect. They respect the game. They play the game very hard. They work out like crazy. Their batting practices are long. They love the game. They breathe baseball. So the competition over there is just gonna keep getting better. So
now, what's next for you in your career? What are you looking forward to now? What's on the agenda? What's coming up next?
Next, I mean, right now I want to go play either Mexico, either go play in Atlantic League somewhere to where I could get a good amount of innings. To where last year I was a starter. It was something new that I did. Going over to Japan. It's just new expectations, new different roles you have to play in. Next, I have Dubai. I was drafted into the Dubai League for winter, so that was a good blessing. A new league. Baseball is expanding. There's a tournament for the Netherlands, Honkball Week.
The Netherlands, Haarlemse Honkbal, that's coming up.
So that's going to be in September. So you want to be actively playing so they can take you in consideration. And then pretty much we have the World Baseball Classic coming in March, which is going to be a really fun, another tournament. So got a lot of work to put in. Now,
I know you got to catch a flight out of here today. So, of course, we're happy that you were able to stop by and spend some time with us this morning. Through your journey, all your experiences, what would be your message to the youth on St. Martin now, looking at you as one of the more successful players who have originated from St. Martin, making it abroad? What would be your message to the youngsters on St. Martin?
My message would be, find what you're good at. Take time, self-evaluate. Understand that like the world's in your hands. Go out, meet people, shake hands. Find what you're good at. Sports was very valuable for me. I was able to see the world through, playing a little sport, with a little baseball.
A little baseball.
And, it's a fun experience because you start expanding your network, your connections. You learn from so many great individuals that have maybe gone through the same thing as you. So I feel like it's very rewarding when you get to a next level and a next step and a next milestone to where like I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing. And maybe if sports not your thing, you can get your education through sports.
Through sports as well.
Which is kind of like what I did. I still have going back to school scholarship, even though I was drafted my junior year. So to the youth, man, find something that you like to do. Find your talent. Sit down with yourself. We have a lot of talent here. A lot of athletic kids I see on the streets doing stuff, and I'm like, man,
So you're gonna be back to do some clinics and some workouts with we could look forward to that in the future.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to do that. I would love to host some clinics. Teaching kids different stuff that helped me. Like I remember when I was younger, they brought a scout for the Red Sox to teach us a little device with our swing, and that little tool just helped me be able to further my swing a little bit more. So I feel like it's always good, for guys to come back and, try to do it. When I was drafted in 2017, I came in 2018 to, visit the Little Leagues, talk to them, give them a little hope, a little inspiration on like how to do things. Because if you don't have a good picture, it's very hard for you to find motivation.
I think definitely you'll be a role model because pitching these days, not a lot of people want to get into pitching.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go. Franklin, your final words before we close off with you. I want to thank you, of course, for coming in. Your final words, let me give you a chance to, thank anyone you want to thank and your closing remarks.
I want to thank you first and foremost for having me here. I just thank, Island for everything it's done for me, even developing me, just being able to put the island on the map and, show the kids that, it can be done. I want to be able to just be the vessel to where, social media, hit me up, be like, hey, reach out to me. Don't feel that, I'm too far away, I know, I move around, I'm just chasing my dream, but coming back home, it's been a really good experience, and I'm closer now to where I'm in Florida, to where I can come back and forth a little bit more. So we'll have some really good things cooking in the future for the island, because I do want to see the baseball and stuff like that. Keep going on the island. Keep going.
All right, radio listeners, there you had it. You heard it from pro baller Franklin van Gurp. We want to thank him for being on the program with us. We're going to go to a break and be right back with some more guests. We got Mr. Peterson and Mr. Flanders in the house, the two boxers who won their matches in Curacao. So stick and stay, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we're back after the break. Welcome back to Sports Forum, man. What a fantastic interview we just had there with pro baller Franklin van Gurp. Of course, he has to catch a plane out of here, so we couldn't keep him for the full hour. So I know that some of you are looking forward to some more information from him. But we're going to have him back in the studios with us, once we make that connection. Our aim here in this program is to highlight all the talent on St. Martin, the local talent on St. Martin. Shout out to the man Super Dave, Julian Richards up there in the USA, Leroy Liebert, how things going? Without further ado, we got two champions here with us, three champions. Let's go over to our interview format. We're going to start off with, of course, the man, the pit bull himself, Mr. Shawn Blair. Hey, Shawn, welcome to the program, man. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning to the radio listeners, and thank you for having us.
Man, it's my pleasure to have you in the studio with us, man. You producing champions here and, highlighting the island. You were now to the Curacao and did your thing. How are things going? How are things going with boxing in general, man?
Well, as you can see, the boxing is always on the move. We are always working hard and trying to produce more and more champions and to keep St. Martin on the map when it comes to boxing.
Now, you just had you were just off to, what was the name of the tournament that you guys participated in Curacao?
Curacao International Boxing Tournament. Event. The fourth edition.
Mm-hmm.
And it was done by the Supreme Team, Supreme Boxing.
Okay. So, what was the level of that tournament?
Well, it was definitely at a high level because they had the likes of Guyana, which is one of the best in the English-speaking Caribbean. You also had Ecuador, Brazil, you had Colombia, you had Santo Domingo, and you had us as well.
And of course, you took along two champs with us here. You got Mr. Shawn Flanders and Tanisio Peterson. Hey, Tanisio, welcome back to the program. We had you here before the program. Come a little closer to the table and grab the microphone there. Man, you look like you're sleeping. Come a little closer to the microphone, man. I go a little bit more together. Yeah. So we get you in one shot here. So, Tanisio, how are things?
Things good.
You like you were out late last night, man.
Yeah.
You shifted off the boxing. No, I know. I mean, I know you as a basketball player. Last time you came in. You told. I was surprised to see you boxing, and now you like you're taking this to the boxing to the next level.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about your preparation for this fight that you had on Curacao. How did you? And I know you play a lot of basketball, so. The two sports, basketball and boxing, goes together. I should ask the coach.
Yeah.
Well, the running from basketball for sure helps because in boxing you have to do a lot of running, and you do a lot of running in basketball. So going into the match, who did you fight? Your fight in Curacao? Who did you fight against?
Diego Pajara.
From Curacao, or yeah? So before you went to Curacao, you had a chance to look at him fight or something like that? You analyze his fight? No? So you just went into the match. Now, your preparation going into a bout like this. Tell us how you guys prepared. How did you prepare for this fight? How much times a week were you guys training and stuff like that? Any one of you? Keyshawn?
Well, I was training every day. I would run every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I found out that when I had a match in Curacao, I would run from where I live in Curacao to the beach and do some exercise on the beach, and then later in the day I will have practice with coach, and then I'll do some more running and shadow boxing and just technical workout.
Now, Keyshawn Flanders is a big name in boxing. I think I know a few fellas in boxing with the last name Flanders. Tell us who your family, who you're related to in the Flanders, and how did you get into boxing?
So well, my family most of my family from Aruba, but I'm family from the French side Flanders.
So when did you start it off? How did you start off in boxing?
First I lived in Holland, and while I was living in Holland I used to do kickboxing.
Okay.
So I always used to do like combat sports. I used to do kickboxing and judo and taekwondo. So, but I didn't really like using my legs as much, like kicking and stuff like that. I find using my hands was more for me.
Now, your fight in Curacao, which weight category you fought in?
63.5 kilos.
And what was the name of the fighter that you went up against?
Gabriel Vega.
He's from sound like Venezuela.
No, he's from Curacao.
He's from Curacao as well. Now, tell us a bit about the fight. You started off first round. How was the first round going into the first round?
First round, I found the first round was the best round of the fight.
Why?
Because I started out aggressive.
Uh-huh.
I could have ended the fight in the first round. I got 2 8 counts. I gave the fighter 2 8 counts. So
were you catching with the uppercut, the left hook, the right hook?
A lot of hooks.
A lot of hooks. You used a lot of hooks on him, and your footwork was.
First round footwork.
Yeah, your coach was your coach on the sideline telling.
He was low, yeah. But I found if I keep the pressure on him, it would have been.
So why didn't you keep the pressure on him?
That's what I tried to think. I don't know why I cooled down after the second 8 count. I just cooled down. And
You didn't want to overextend yourself. Come a little closer to the microphone. The listeners saying they can't hear you so good. So speak a little bit more into the microphone, yeah.
So I was more calm.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the second 8 count, I don't know why I cooled down, because I felt the pressure I was given was good. My mindset changed all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Now Vargas, what kind of fighter he was? He was a southpaw, right hand fighter, orthodox fighter.
Yeah.
And in the first round, you said you were using more
Pressure, more hooks and
What your coach? You can remember what your coach was telling you to do, and he wanted you to do different in the first round.
He wanted me to go more for the body, because I was most focused
For the head, right? So he was telling you work the body.
Yeah, work the body more.
So, what was the difficulty that he was not able to work the body? Vargas' defense was good on you, or why he wasn't working the body as the coach was telling you?
No, my aim was just to the head.
You wanted to end the fight as soon as possible.
I wanted to end the fight, but I felt like I could have, but I still trying. I was start working on why I stopped keeping the pressure. I gotta work on keeping the pressure and staying on my type of tempo. Like I was controlling the fight the whole time, so I felt like I should work more on that.
Tanisio, come a little closer to the microphone, man. Come a little closer to the microphone so that the listeners could hear you. Now, tell me a bit about your fight from going in the first round, fight that you didn't know. I know your coach was he was on you there. Son, come on, use the body, and hit him in the body. So how was your first round for you?
The first round was good. I wanted to go for the knockout to finish the fight one time, but it didn't work out.
Why it didn't work out? Why you have to do different to get a knockout?
You see, I hit me a blow. It stung me a little bit now, so I had to shake.
He sting you a little bit, yeah.
You got some heavy hands.
So what you have to do? Your block wasn't good enough, or he penetrated the block?
I was blocking good, but I mistakenly dropped my hand. He can't catch me.
He catch you. So now, when you're in a fight like that and you get a lick like that, how do you get back that focus so that you don't lose your concentration? Because of course now you get touched up a little bit. What was the strategy to get back in the game, and keep that focus? What strategy do you use?
Just shake it off, don't drop my hand, keep my guard back up. After that, we just wait for the bell ring, hold it stance, everything, wait till the bell ring.
Oh, I think I saw a few times you when he get a little close to you, you rush in, you hold him a little bit to cool him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in the fight, during the fight, you felt, I saw you a few times dancing you went up on your toes, you were dancing a little bit. I think the coach tell you, he tell you stop that. Shawn, tell us a bit about your experience with a fight with your two fighters. You got to pull the microphone to you there. Now, because of course you prepare them for these matches, and tell us a bit about your experience with them in the fight. Were you happy with what you seen? Of course, you were happy because they were doing, but you always want them to be able to improve a bit more.
Yes, most definitely. Leading up to the fight itself, what happened for us is Curacao would say they have this event coming up. Do you have fighters in this weight category? They had fighters that was overmatch our two boxers. So I was looking for the fight that it would be evenly matched for us.
Okay.
So I would say, no, we don't have those experience, but you got. This is what we have.
So how do you rate that? You look at how much fights the other fighters have and stuff like that. Tell us a bit of how you select the fights for your fighters.
Well, first of all, I will look at my boxers, their potential, right? And as always, once you're the one that promoting or trying to establish your fighters, you want to look for the best way for them. So you wouldn't look for someone that is overmatching them.
Okay.
So I would look at how much fights a person got, the age compared to my boxer's age, you know, because that says a lot. And in order for you to build a fighter, you have to make sure that you can guide him in the right way. And by doing that, you will definitely get the best out of them.
Now, both of them did extremely well during these matches. And for you as a coach, watching them, you know, what are some of the things that you want them to focus on a bit more, or you know, you wanted them to do differently in these matches? Because I watched Tanisio's fight. I didn't get to see Kishan's fight. I watched his fight, and you know, you did a lot of coaching during the match.
Yeah, well, you know, in when you go to like the big international competition, you can't yell and scream like I did. You know, it's the same thing like when we're back home. You know, you will go so far for your boxers that you can go. You know, if the referee don't tell me nothing, I'm gonna continue because I have to motivate them. You know, I have to get a message across to them. Listen, this was the way we train. You're not supposed to keep your hand down. You know, work the body, work the head, those kind of things. So, you know, as a boxer too, when you go in the ring, you tend to sometimes block out a lot of things. And you gotta understand, this was their first time in a next country, you know.
Okay. First match for both of them on an international or regional stage.
Right.
Okay.
And a lot of people in Samat for me, I don't think they just didn't get it, what we just did in Curacao. Curacao had 9 fighters, right? Out of the 9 fighters that Curacao had, they won 7. So Samat was the only
country that took 2 from them.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, and when you have the likes like Guyana, like I say, which is one of the strongest country in the English-speaking Caribbean, then you have like Ecuador. You know, you have these people that are Brazil. They produce Olympic champions. You know, and for Curacao to be beating them, and then for we becoming, you know, so I think it says a lot about the potential that we've got with these young people, and I think that if we have the proper facilities again, like having our own boxing gym and you know, our own ring inside, like what we were able to do, and they can tell you themselves, is that they got the opportunity from AA Boxing Gym in Curacao, which is Mr. Theo Varga Gym. They got an opportunity 2 days to go in the ring and practice in the ring. So they, when they get into the fight, they will already have that comfortableness of being in the ring. You know, so I think that did a lot for them.
That prepared them
yes.
in advance, that they were able to do those practice sessions in the, you know, in a ring, so they get the feeling. Exactly. Well, let me ask them to tell us a bit about that training experience, because I know even so the day after, I think the day after the fight, you guys went back immediately into training, right? So come a little closer to the microphone, both of you, because the fans want to hear you good. Now, having the opportunity to train in the ring, tell us how that contributed to the success that you guys had in this in your boxing match.
So that's actually the first time I ever been in a ring.
The first time? Wow.
Actual boxing gym, that was my first time. So going in there, it was a good experience, and going in there was good because then. So
now, what's the difference of training in the ring is compared to like just training on a boardwalk, for example? What was the difference?
More comfortable, and
you get a bounce from the ring, help you with your footwork a little bit more.
So it wouldn't be like awkward when you go in the ring and you're feeling different. So it was a good experience. And the shoes too. Yeah, the boxing shoes
makes a big difference in the ring.
That too.
Now, your coach mentioned, that you guys were, defeated 2-1 gave Curacao 2 of their losses, and they won 7 other matches. Do you guys? How's the feeling then? The acknowledgement? Have you been getting the acknowledgement for this accomplishment that you've done now? That you feel that you're getting the recognition? No, you're smiling.
Yeah, man.
So upon return, for example, you're still in school. You're in school, Tanisio. So when you went to school now, everybody know that you won. How was the response? Tell us a bit about it.
The teachers all congratulated me.
Uh,
Whole day through school.
well, that's good or bad.
All good.
And Kishan, how was the response on your victory?
Some of the teachers, but mostly like people I know, was more like saying they're proud of me and congratulating me about my victory.
Tell me keep it up.
Yeah, can we keep it up?
So you guys motivated now, looking forward to your next match?
Yeah.
What's the next match coming up for you now? August?
But the Battle of the Islands.
The Battle of the Islands, that's here in St. Martin again, right? The Battle of the Islands. And tell us about the Battle of the Islands. But tell us a bit about the Battle of the Islands and what you planning for these youngsters, Shawn.
Well, the Battle of the Islands, we plan it for August 29th and 30th. So for the Battle of the Islands, we definitely looking to gain the support of having this to be a big event for us, as we are looking forward to hosting other countries to come to St. Martin. And with that as well, we always talk about sports tourism. Like when we went to Curacao, we visited the mall, so we went to do shopping and various things. It's the same thing when these people
same effect when they come here.
Yes, and go and do all of these things. So we also have Samir Arundel is a boxer that we've got who's been doing tremendously well in Holland. He's going to be boxing, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend in Hungary. So he will be home to represent St. Martin for
as
that.
well.
His ticket already booked. His mom already called me. He's looking forward to be home and represent St. Martin. So we were looking forward to producing a strong team. We at home, we should have the most boxers. So we will have boxers in training.
Now, the preparation going up to the Battle of the Islands, how are we going to keep these youngsters engaged? But we have a ring here, right?
Yes,
we do have a ring.
We do have a ring,
but it's just not constantly available.
It's there. It's was bought for boxing. It's there in the auditorium, but you need to set it up. So
you don't have a location that you could have it permanently set up. That's the main issue.
So with that, we are in talks with NSI and stuff in order to have a facility where we can still do some training. So hopefully all that can become a reality, and that our young boxers can have that that comfort of training in their own boxing ring at home. But we don't have a boxing ring that is up to the international standard. So that is one that we will have.
You need to work on a bit more.
Yeah.
And how will the training intensify for these youngsters, considering the great potential that they demonstrated in Curacao? Are you going to be increasing their training to get them to a much higher level? What's the plan moving forward for them?
Because look, we train Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on the boardwalk, and on Wednesdays they train in Dutch Quarter by Coach Brian. So he has a little spot there by his house that they have there. And also, before, what we used to do in the past is when we have like tournaments or events come up, we will go to the Milton Peters College and do some sparring with the kickboxers. And we know they have some kickboxers as well who wants to join the boxing for Battle of the Islands. Okay.
All right, we run a bit on time. Tanisio, let's start off with you, Kishan. Your final words, your remarks. Anyone you want to thank for making this victory for you a fact, let me give you the opportunity to do that. And your message for the youngsters who are looking up to you now as a boxing icon on the island, having won your gold medal, showing it off there on... come closer to the microphone. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank God. That's one I want to thank God for giving me the motivation. I pray to God to keep me motivated and disciplined for the trainer doing, because there had days I really didn't want to do nothing. So, and I want to thank my mother, my grandmother for sure, because the food she make for me, it's a lot. I want to stay strictly on this type of diet.
What kind of food she make for you, man?
A lot of vegetables and
No yam, tanya seed, and those type of old school things, no?
a lot of vegetables, a lot of that, and meat and things. That was mostly it.
All right, so shout out to Keyshawn's grandmother for his nutrition that made him strong. Anything else? Anyone else you want to thank? Those your remarks. And what would you say to the youngsters looking up to you now, having competed on this high level? What would be your message to them?
Stay disciplined.
Stay disciplined. That's very important. Tanisio, you having a real successful year, man. You became champs with the St. Peter's Ballers in basketball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so champs with the St. Peter's Ballers, and now champs in winning your match here now. Who all would you like to thank for this successful year that you're having so far, man?
I want to thank my mother, my grandmother, and my family. And the main person I wanted to thank is my cousin. He ain't here with us. He ain't here with me right now, but the time we keep pushing, doing what I gotta do, how to get out of school and go and do sports.
Now, your message to, of course, the youngsters who are looking up to you, because you're definitely a role model involved in, top in basketball, top in boxing. What's your message?
My message is, if you want to do boxing and thing, just do it. Don't think twice. Just get your head into it. Go hard or go home, as they say. So, yeah.
All right, congratulations, of course, to you, Keyshawn Flanders and Tanisio Peterson, on your fantastic victories in Curacao in this gold medals in the boxing championship. Shawn, let me give you your closing remarks for the listeners there before we close off this morning.
Yeah, well, first of all, I would like to thank the National Boxing Federation for believing in me and supporting me, that we can still have the organization up and running, and that we can be able to produce champions and continue to do good things for the youths of St. Martin. And to the youths out there, we know that there's a lot of idle minds out there, but behind those idle minds is a lot of talent. Because if you can look at Tanisio, a lot of people wouldn't believe that he would become a boxer and be doing so good. His first fight he won against the Bahamas, and now against Curacao. So, boxing changed lives. So if anyone out there wishes to do boxing, they can contact us or contact me at 588-7356 and come and join the Boxing Association.
Definitely, we encourage that, man. And Shawn, keep up doing the fantastic work that you're doing with the youngsters here, making them champs in boxing. And we want to thank you for coming in, of course, and being with us this morning. Keyshawn and Tanisio, we want to thank you so much for being a guest on our program, man. We really appreciate it. And to those of you who've been in tune to the program up until now, we want to thank you and invite you to come back with us